Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Agung Nathaniel Sitepu. I am a student of Atmajaya University of Yogyakarta who is majoring in informatics engineering. And in this video, I'm going to introduce you to an idea of a game I have that will hopefully resolve a problem faced by teenagers in my community. The problem faced by teenagers in my community that I hope to solve is social anxiety disorder. What is social anxiety disorder? We all know the feeling of being nervous or uncomfortable in a social situation. Maybe you have felt nervous when meeting someone new or gotten sweaty palms before making a big presentation. Public speaking or walking into a room full of strangers isn't exactly fun for everybody, but most people get through it. If you have social anxiety disorder, however, the stress of these situations is too much to handle. You might avoid all social contact because things that other people consider normal, like small talk and eye contact, make you feel uncomfortable.
I can't talk to people because I have severe social anxiety. They just assume I'm being rude.
All I've ever wanted is to know what it feels like to have self-confidence. Social anxiety ruins me.
I have severe social anxiety. If I initiate a conversation with you, know that it takes every ounce of courage I have.
As someone with social anxiety, getting ready to go out feels like getting ready to go into battle.
I can't get a job because my social anxiety has me too scared to leave the house.
Social anxiety is skipping lunch because you're too afraid to ask your coworker to take theirs out of the microwave.
My family members are all very outgoing and can't even begin to understand the social anxiety that things like talking on the phone and using a drive-thru give me.
Social anxiety disorder, which is also known as social phobia, is one of the most common mental disorders. Social anxiety disorder, or SAD, is a mental health issue that involves a dread of social situations, including performing or speaking in front of others for fear of being negatively judged. SAD affects 15 million adults and is equally common among men and women, and typically begins around the age of 13. SAD can usually be linked to a history of abuse, bullying, or teasing. Shy kids are also more likely to become socially anxious adults, as are children with overbearing or controlling parents. If you develop a health condition that draws attention to your appearance or voice, that could trigger social anxiety also. There are generally more than 150,000 cases of SAD yearly in Indonesia alone. According to a 2007 ADAA survey, 36% of people with social anxiety disorder report experiencing symptoms for 10 or more years before seeking help. The reason is that many parents and teachers are not familiar with the signs and symptoms of SAD within children and teenagers. If left untreated, SAD may lead to low self-esteem, negative thoughts, depression, sensitivity to criticism, poor social skills that don't improve. Treatment for SAD in children and teenagers is aimed at helping alleviate anxiety and allow the student to cope with school and day-to-day functioning. Effective treatments may include cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, family therapy, and medication. But, as I have stated above, it is hard to recognize the signs or symptoms of SAD because of how similar it is to normal anxiety. Therefore, there will be plenty of children and teenagers suffering from SAD without themselves, their family, or anyone noticing. That is why I have come up with an idea of a game that may help mediate or solve some of the symptoms of SAD. The title of the game is Shift. Shift is a massively multiplayer online game. The gameplay of Shift can be described as a mashup of a social-driven game such as VR Chat and a creative-driven adventure game such as Minecraft or Roblox. Shift allows players to interact with each other to solve challenges that rewards the player with items. The items consist of things you can make structures with, such as wood, iron, etc., cosmetic items such as skins costumes, and new abilities that will allow players to solve more challenges. The challenges consist of puzzle challenges, where players are tasked to solve puzzles by working together, maze challenges, where players have to escape the maze as fast as they can, and lastly, there are community events where players will build structures together according to the unique theme. Video games have been proven to provide many benefits to mental health, especially to the younger generation. Video games do this by providing players with 1. Mental stimulation. Video games often make you think. When you play video games, almost every part of your brain is working to help you achieve higher level thinking. Depending on the complexity of the game, you may have to think, strategize, and analyze quickly. Playing video games with deeper parts of your brain that improve development and critical thinking skills. 2. The feeling of accomplishment. In the game, you have goals and objectives to reach. Once you achieve them, they bring you a lot of satisfaction, which improves your overall well-being. This sense of achievement is heightened when you play games that give you trophies or badges for certain goals. Trying to get more achievements gives you something to work forward. 3. Mental health recovery. Regardless of the type, playing games can help with trauma recovery. Video games can act as a distraction from pain and psychological trauma. Video games can also help people who are dealing with mental disorders like anxiety, depression, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD, and post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. 4. Social interaction. Multiplayer and online games are good for virtual social interaction. In fast-paced game settings, you'll need to learn who to trust. Multiplayer games encourage cooperation. It's also a low-stakes environment for you to test out talking and fostering relationships with other people and new people. 5. Emotional resilience. When you fail in a game or in other situations, it can be frustrating. Video games help people learn how to cope with failure and keep trying. This is an important tool for children to learn and use as they get older. Shift emphasizes these 5 points by challenging players with progressively harder challenges, satisfying rewards, and promoting cooperation between players. The challenges will be separated into different stages of difficulty. There are easy challenges where a player can do independently, but rewards the player with low-tier loot. Medium challenges where a group of 2 to 4 players work together to defeat the challenge. This rewards the players with medium-tier loot. And lastly, there are the hard challenges, where a group of 8 to 16 players work together to defeat an epic challenge where cooperation is key and the rewards are a high tier. The reason for these different tiers is to get players suffering from SAD to feel more comfortable first before forcing them to work with others to solve harder challenges. In conclusion, Shift is a massively multiplayer online game where players interact and cooperate with each other to solve progressively harder challenges. The goal of Shift is to treat or mediate players suffering from social anxiety disorder or SAD. Shift does this by providing players with mental stimulation in the form of challenges, the feeling of accomplishment in the form of rewards, mental health recovery, social interaction, and lastly, emotional rewards. This leads us to the end of this video. I hope this video gave you a good introduction to social anxiety disorder and of course to Shift. And I encourage you to research more about social anxiety disorder if you are interested or if you suspect yourself or someone you know to suffer from social anxiety disorder. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.